Canadians, we take great pride in supporting Canadian law, international law, and international humanitarian law, and in championing equal rights in Canada and overseas. Regrettably, we have a government that has a dismal record on human rights for the Palestinian people and also for many Canadians. We also believe that achieving justice for the Palestinian people is a prerequisite for peace and security, not only in the Middle East, but in the whole world. We understand from the Harper government's pronouncements and actions that it does not treat the lives of Palestinians with the same respect that it does the Israelis. We believe that all nations must now be held accountable to internationally recognized human rights standards and international laws and conventions, while we also acknowledge that there was a huge failure by the international community to protect the rights of Jews during the Holocaust. And this is why we want to ensure that we will not similarly fail the Palestinian people today. The UN report produced in September 2009 by Richard Goldstone, who is a renowned South African judge and a Zionist Jew, and his daughter said he really, by taking over this role, he mitigated the criticism of Israel. He concluded in this report that the 1.5 million Palestinians of Gaza were victims of war crimes and crimes against humanity during Israel's assault last year. And the report then says that the deliberate actions and policies of the Israeli government before, during, and after the assault cumulatively indicate the intention to inflict collective punishment on the people of Gaza in violation of the Fourth Geneva Convention. We find it unconscionable that the Harper government has not endorsed the Goldstone report. Instead, the government has taken punitive actions against any non-governmental organization that defends Palestinian human rights and criticizes Israel's violation of international law. My colleague Brian has talked about the defunding of respected Canadian organizations like the Kenyan Arab Federation, Kairos, and Alternatives in Montreal under the ridiculously phony pretext of combating anti-Semitism, and the scandalous attempts made by the government to undermine a leading Canadian human rights institution like Rights and Democracy. All of this is only a testament to how un-Canadian the Harper government has become. By equating Israel with Judaism, one risks turning the whole world anti-Semitic. The irony is that by equating Jews with Israel, the Harper government helps to foster anti-Semitism by allowing to prevail the false notion that all Jews are responsible for the criminal acts of a foreign power, the State of Israel. So in addition to the falsehood of these allegations, they are also irresponsible and dangerous. We are really alarmed by Canada's contribution to UNRWA has dropped dramatically under the Canada administration. From 32 million in 2007, it dropped to 28 million in 2008, and now it's only 20 million in 2009. Moreover, Canada's entire contribution in 2009 was specifically earmarked only for food and prevents UNRWA from using this money to support its human development programs in Palestine, Jordan, Syria, and Lebanon, where it runs a variety of programs in the areas of health, education, relief, social services, and microfinance, which, as was mentioned, mainly help the poor people and women in many instances. We find it also shameful that in Canada there appears to be different classes of citizenship as far as the Harper government is concerned. The Harper government regrettably consistently violates the Charter of Rights and Freedoms when it comes to racialized groups, specifically and especially Muslim and Arab Canadians. Witness the treatment given to Maher Arar, Omar Khadr, Abdullah al-Maliki, Ahmed Abu al-Ma'ti, Muayyad Nuruddin, Abu Sufyan Abdul Razik, Abdi Hakim Muhammad, and most recently Suad Haji Mohamud, all of them Canadian citizens who were victimized by the Canadian government. And the Canadian government, in many instances, people had to go to the courts to force the government to abide by the charter. This is, instead of having a government that follows the law, we have to take the government to court to make it abide by the law. This is really shameful. As Canadians, we expect our government to uphold the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, Canadian law, international law, and international humanitarian law. We will continue to press the Harper Government to promote human rights in Canada and overseas, and to help the victims of human rights violations, not the violators of human rights. Thank you.